His matching wardrobe also.
Well, always with Lou. You're always going to find some matching wardrobe, perhaps a little bit of pink in there. Pajama pants, I saw him this morning. He had the unique combo of a blazer plus pink gym shorts. Matt Nass, eat your heart out.
Oh my! Have you seen Lou's deck yet so far?
He told me about it, but I'm going to let you break it down.
Yeah, I'll break it down. So we are playing a 4-color Staticaster Peddler deck. I think it's 4-color. I'm just trying to make sure. No, it might just be 3. Yeah, it is just 3 colors with a bunch of red mana sources for Boros Reckoner. So not only do we have the combo of Peddler and Is It Statica to take care of all these early aggressive decks, but he has Boros Reckoners and Ground Assault for the late game against control.
Ooh, Ground
So that's
Assault.
even,
okay,
yeah.
Little mini combo.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah. My opponent's at 9. I have 9 lands. He's dead.
As we do see, Lou is going to resolve a Farseek here, kind of the card that pulls this entire deck together, while Joel is resolving a Grizzly Salvage for Centaur Healer, Godless Shrine, Angel Serenity, the big card of this tournament, among others, going to the graveyard. But you do see Centaur Healer going to Joel's hand, and Lou is already starting to turn his mana base on a little bit here. Peddler Staticaster, Brad, a combo that you've obviously had some success with at Grand Prix Atlantic City. Do you think that's pretty well positioned right now?
It is, especially since another thing that Lou has in his deck is he has 1 Tracker or 4 Tracker's Instincts and 1 Angel of Glory's Rise just for the mini combo when the game goes really long.
Okay.
With his 4th color. But the thing about a Peddler deck, especially in this matchup against Junker Animator, is if you get the combo in play and the combo in hand, your opponent cannot win. That is your end game goal.
Okay.
Because if you Angel Serenity, the combo in play, if you ping in a response, they're gone forever, and you still have to find a way to deal with that Angel Serenity. But once you have 2 combos and you use your Tracker's Instincts to find it, you get an inevitability. So that's what Lou's going to be fighting for.
As we are going to see a Boros Reckoner here from Lou, but he does not have a 3rd land, so we'll pass the turn back. This Centaur Healer is going to feel free to rumble across with the Reckoner for this kind of a one-time only thing. Yeah. You don't see this happen very often. As Joel's going to play a Temple Garden tapped, he's going to play an Arbor Elf, and let's see if he's going to rumble across. He's not! The Centaur Healer, a bit of a coward.
He's going to play defensive. He thinks he has inevitability. The Boros Reckoner looks like a more aggressive card for Lou. So thinking Lou might be playing a little bit more of an aggressive strategy. And Lou does have another Reckoner in hand, and he does have 1 copy of Blasphemous Act in his main.
Okay.
So we could see the combo if he gets there, if he gets too far behind on board.
He is really using that Reckoner to his advantage with the Blasphemous Acts, the Ground Assaults if he doesn't need to go that way.
Yes.
And you're going to see Boros Reckoner rumble across here in the red zone. Joel is going to take, he's going to go on a 23. Lou is going to play a Cavern of Souls, and we'll see what that's naming in a moment, but for right now, we're going to get Huntmaster of the Fells, along with a Wolf token coming into play here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's either going to name Wizard or Angel. He already has 2 red. He might need that white for another Angel. I don't think, it doesn't seem that profitable to be human at this point. So, and I can see it being Wizard so he can activate the Boros Reckoner's ability and cast another one.
Sure, sure.
All right, so Thragtusk putting Joel all the way up to 25.
So Thragtusk is here. A card that I think we're going to be talking about a lot today, too.
Have we not talked enough about Thragtusk?
Hope you're not tired of Thragtusk just yet, everybody at home, especially on a dual standard weekend.
I mean, the cool thing,
see the 5/3 a lot.
I think my favorite thing about Thragtusk now, though, is it's a different card. Before it was a card that you got to Angel Serenity. Now it's a card you just have to block with.
Sure.
You don't get to not Angel Serenity, Restoration Angel it.
So we see Centaur Healer does come across. Lou is going to draw his card. He does have the ability here to just, play a land, pass the turn, backflip, Huntmaster of the Fells, but he's got a lot of cards in his hand that he does want to empty, one of which is a Thragtusk in there as well right now. And we do see him tapping 1 mana, make it 2 with that Sun Petal Grove he's played. You see a couple Peddlers in his hand, and we're going to see a Tracker's Instincts.
All right, so the interesting thing about this play is he would like to find a Staticaster, but a sweet thing that he can do now is he can actually take the Nightshade Peddler and pair it with the Boros Reckoner to put a better creature in play, and then use the Staticaster to ping on the Boros Reckoner. So what that'll allow him to do is the second Staticaster he draws, he gets 2 Death Touch pings every turn, channeling it through Boros Reckoner.
Okay. It's not something I've actually seen yet. You're going to see Staticaster take care of that Arbor Elf right now.
We might have worked on this deck for a while.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have never seen that interaction before, but we might begin to see it here. As Staticaster has joined, and we know that Lou does have 2 Nightshade Peddlers in his hand as well, so he's starting to assemble the combo, as it were.
And getting 2 deep ahead, he's going to want to make sure he keeps one of those Peddlers in his hand, just in case of an Angel. He doesn't want to get too many combo pieces eaten up. But yeah, so Joel takes 2, and he's just going to play another Thragtusk, praying to the gods of magic that there's not a common from Avacyn's Restored in Lou Laskin's hand.
But the gods of magic are not kind.
No.
This early
No,
in the
they're
morning
not.
on a Saturday. As you guys are going to see Nightshade Peddler on the screen there, a card that we have seen kind of, come and go in our standard format. Post Gate Crash, we have not seen very much of it. We saw it really, I mean, your performance at Grand Prix Atlantic City, making top 4 before getting run over by Bant Hexproof, which seemed like a pretty bad matchup
still have
for your
nightmares,
deck.
yeah.
It seemed like a really bad matchup for your deck. That was the last time we saw the Peddler Staticaster combo.
And that's mostly because of Burning Tree Emissary, like nut draws that Gate Crash has created in the format. It's just too hard to keep up with a 1/1 for 2 mana.
So we see Lou tapping a little mana here. He's going to flashback the Tracker's Instincts. You're going to see another Tracker's Instincts, a Peddler, which he's going to take, and then a Stomping Ground and a Mountain. So
this allows him to hide the Peddler in hand.
Get a little bit more information for himself. He is going to Soulbound with the Staticaster.
I don't like it, Lou.
You want to partner up with the Minotaur Wizard?
Yep. I want to channel that damage.
It makes you wonder if Lou does. I mean, Lou obviously a very adept player. He has a lot of open top 8s here on the circuit. It makes you wonder if he does know about that interaction, being able to pair up with the Reckoner and then shoot the Reckoner itself and start to go to town that way.
And it also means, like, the other interesting thing is, like, let's say you don't want to deal damage to creatures, you can still poke your opponent in the face by channeling the Staticaster through the Boros Reckoner to Joel's face.
Sure.
So,
as you are going to see, Lou is going to shoot down those 2 Thragtusk. So there are going to be 2 Beast tokens coming in. You see one on the screen already. A second one will be coming.
I'm curious why we don't just want a Restoration Angel there just to gain the life, just to try to find more answers to this board, just to get more time.
And now you're going to see a second Centaur Healer, too.
Yeah.
Along with the Temple Garden that comes into play. So Joel is having a little bit of trouble, getting situated here. He needs to figure out a way to beat this combo. As you see, Mizium Mortars is the draw there for Lou.
We're still short 1 red source and also a land, but it does not matter at this point. I think we're going to start seeing Lou attack. He's got a fistful of the cards that are already in play, and he should just start sending his team. He can poke in response to blocks to see where the blocks come from. And
he's got a lot of options in his hand right now. As you said, he's got a lot of backups for the cards that are in his hand. He has an additional Nightshade Peddler. I think he's got another Tracker's Instinct hiding in his hand as well. So he's got everything that he needs on the board and backups in his hand. He just needs to figure out a way to navigate this game so that the card that he would normally be afraid of right now is Angel Serenity, but he's actually kind of got that avenue covered as well. He just kind of wants to shorten this game and get it over with. You're going to see him take care of the Centaur Healers on his main phase right now, not get too tricky at all.
And then one other big reason why you should pedal pairing with the Reckoner is this combat step. Now, if you had Death Touch and First Strike, there's no way you could 2 for 1.
A dream come true.
Yep.
As we're going to see Thragtusk post-combat, of course, Joel not going to tussle with that Reckoner at all. Those Beast tokens are going to hold steady. And, one of the reasons that you probably saw Lou take care of those Centaur Healers in the main phase is because Restoration Angel, a card that Joel does have in his hand. You see Joel counting mana. That can only mean one thing.
Yeah.
We'll see if he has a 7th land and a 3rd
He has
white
a 7th
source.
land. I'm just making. I think the last one is a Temple Garden on the left.
And here is public enemy number 1 of the format. Angel of Serenity is here. So you're going to see Angel of Serenity take out that Staticaster, take out the Boros Reckoner, and take down the Nightshade Peddler. And so now, can Lou beat what is probably the biggest problem in the format for a lot of people? As you see Nightshade Peddler, is the Staticaster the draw step for the turn.
It was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
But now, like you see on the board, we do have the combo set up. We have it in play and in hand, so
you see Peddler is going to come down here for Laskin. We know that he has another Staticaster in his hand. It's just up to him if he wants to kill anything, as Peddler has not bonded here, and he does just pass the turn right back.
No fear of main deck Abrupt Decay or Tragic Slip.
Which I think is pretty reasonable.
I do too.
A lot of these Chunk Randomator decks are starting to move towards a little bit more removal, as you're going to see Staticaster here. It's going to pair up with the Peddler and shoot down that Angel of Serenity. And Lou's going to say, I'm going to take these back, thank you very much. I have the combo in my hand again.
Would you like to Umbaro Rights or Angel?
And now a Thragtusk post-combat for Joel. One of the things that you are starting to see in Junk Commander decks is some people are starting to play removal in their deck. The Tragic Slip. Some people have started to move Abrupt Decay as their main deck. I've even seen some people start to play Orzhov Charm in their main deck. Is that something that that you're okay with? Because it doesn't really work out very well with your Mulches and Grizzly Salvages out there.
Yeah, see, when I'm playing a deck like Junk Reanimator, I would much rather go down the more powerful spectrum and play cards like Somberwald Sage and just try to explode onto the board instead of trying to kill things here and there. I think those are where you're going to have the best chances. And we see Lou attack with another Thragtusk. Yeah, it's good to answer cards like Staticaster and Peddler, but they're not that popular in the metagame yet. And I would much rather just be faster in the mirror match. I don't think Tragic Slipping and Arbor Elf is that great. Of course it is to kill their Summerworld Sage, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like we haven't gotten to the point where Summerworld Sage is starting to define things.
I mean, it defined the MTGO champs. There's a lot of Summerworld Sages in those decks on Standard.
Okay.
They knew about half the field was going to be playing the same deck.
Okay.
And we saw like DZY playing Summerworld Sage, and a couple others. So
you see, Joel has drawn a Grizzly Salvage for the turn to go along with the Restoration Angel that's in his hand. The problem here for Joel is that basically no matter what he does, as you're going to see Huntmaster of the Fells flip into Ravager of the Fells, it's going to shoot 2 damage around here. But the problem here for Joel, Brad, is that no matter what he does for what his deck is trying to accomplish, Angel Serenity is the kind of the card that gets you out of trouble, and it can't get him out of trouble here.
No, and that's the great thing. This is what happened when I was playing the Pedal to the Metal in Atlanta, as I played a couple Randomator decks, and this was the exact same board state. Sure, Lou has a lot more creatures than I didn't play, but once you have a Peddler and a Staticaster in hand and in play, it's pack up time.
Yeah, those are the only cards that actually do matter. Of course, your Thragtusk and your Huntmaster of the Fells and your Boros Reckoning, those will close the game out. But the cards that are important are the 0-3 and the 1-1, oddly enough, as them comboing together really do shut off most of what Junk Reanimator is trying to accomplish.
Now I'm just waiting for Lou to get the Ground Assault. I want that win. One thing that I would have liked Lou to play, especially since he's playing Ground Assaults, a Blasphemous Act, and Tracker's Instinct, is 1 Snapcaster main.
Oh, look at you.
Or 1 in several. Well, I had 2 in my sideboard to go with every sideboard's plan.
Okay.
It came in every matchup. My deck was just 13 spells and Snapcasters.
Okay.
So that's how I boarded.
Okay, sure.
And I really do like that interaction of digging through your deck.
And now you're going to see Staticasters take care of the Thraxos and the Beast token, and here come the doofuses.
Lou's like, this is too much magic for round 1. I need to just kill everything, go all in.
Yeah.
Just want to get this game over with.
And for those of you guys wondering at home, Lou did theirs. The Ravager of the Fells flipped, and it dealt 2 damage to the Thragtusk and 2 damage upstairs, and the Staticaster that he played is not paired with the Nightshade Peddler, so it just finished off the rest of the Thragtusk.
Oh, wow.
So,
did he pair with the Boros Reckoner this time?
Yeah, he did pair with the Boros Reckoner. Yeah.
All right.
So our board state is in the clear. As you're going to see Lou play a Temple Garden, he's going to Farseek. He's going to make that mana a little bit better. That Huntmaster's going to flip back, and now we're going to see a Grizzly Salvage here from Joel. Centaur Healer, Woodland Cemetery number 2, number 3, and second Centaur Healer.
Full house.
Yeah. Normally good, not going to win this one, though. I think after Joel takes another couple draw steps here, he's going to see that there's nothing I can do to kind of get myself out of this situation here. And it's kind of funny to see that Angel Serenity cannot save someone as it has for the past almost month here. But as you said at the top of the show, and something we're going to talk about kind of ad nauseum over the course of this weekend, is people need to start being able to beat Angel Serenity.
Yes.
And this is definitely one way to go about doing it, is the Staticaster plus Nightshade Peddler, but there are a lot of other cards out there.
I mean,
as well.
Ground Assault also does it, right?
Yeah.
It still gets there.
Your Celestia Charms of the world, or just a lot of other cards, are cards that we're probably going to see an uptick here, and we probably should be seeing an uptick.
Oh, yeah. I saw a PTQ where Junk Reanimator was 1 through 5.
Sure.
I tweeted about that last night.
Okay.
It was like, the top 4 was 2 Junk mirror matches.
Yeah, that's not okay.
No, that is not a healthy
not
format.
Okay at all. As we do see, Lou Laskin is going to win game 1 here with his, we'll call it Peddler for now. His Peddler deck.
Ooh, I'll try to help with a good name. We'll figure it out.
Peddle of Metal is a good name, but I don't know if you want to you've already given that name to a deck before. So
I will give it to Lou if he wants it.
All right, I didn't
but
know.
instead of metal, it should be metal. Like meddling.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Because Lou is a meddler in this game.
He is.
Yeah.
He loves to brew.
Yes.
Taking a look at Joel's sideboard here, he is playing a very conventional take on this archetype. Anything that he can really use to break up the Peddler Staticaster combo, you obviously want to look for removal first. You see 2 copies of Replicate and 2 copies of Tragic Slip, so probably start there, with the forefront of his mind thinking, I just lost that combo, I need to be able to break that combo up, so I'm going to want sideboard and removal. Other cards, he has 2 copies of Rock's Faithmender, not so great here. 2 copies of Obsidian Ghost Council, a card that's really seeing a huge uptick in these Junk Reanimator decks. 2 copies of Acidic Slime, a Sever the Bloodline, 3 Deathrite Shamans, and a copy of Lingering Souls. So I think we'll see at least the Tragic Slips and the Abrupt Decays come in. Maybe we'll see that Sever the Bloodline as well.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see the Sever. But over on Lou's side, we get a lot better with 3 Rest in Pieces, which is just going to play a huge role in this matchup. And there is a card that I don't want to spoil just yet. I feel like Lou's going to go deep in this tournament. I don't want to break.
Wow.
Are you with me on this one?
Wow.
It's
All
amazing.
Right. All right.
We're going to get the suspense building right now. We might even make some clues later, but Lou is playing an absurdly amazing card. I tested it in this deck and found it to be a little underwhelming then, but it seems awesome now.
Brad with a bit of a slow roll here.
Yes, and we're going to wait for his top 8 list.
A bit of a slower. Glenn trying to take credit for the card now. Not the first time we've seen Glenn try to take credit for something off camera. If you guys have been through a broadcast with us before, Glenn always credit mongering. So,
but yeah, so he's got an awesome one. You guys should tweet in at SCG Live trying to guess it. Think of what his deck does, and as it was there, a Tracker's Instinct deck. What would be an amazing card? Should we give the Converted Mana Cost?
I think Converted Mana Cost is a fine hit. We have to give at least
we
one.
We don't give the full converted, just how many mana it technically costs.
That's perfectly fine.
It's a 5 Converted Mana Cost spell.
Okay. That's all you'll get for now.
That's it.
We'll slowly break hints over the course of the weekend.
And the winner gets flown by Cedric to his place for a wonderful time in Seattle.
Wait, how does this? What's going on? What's the price here? I didn't know that there was. Well, you're not going to guess it anyway, so yeah, I'll play. I don't mind. It's fine. Best of luck to you there at home guessing the card.
All right, as the players get shuffled up, do you think the access to removal and the probably the Lingering Souls being taken out of Joel's deck are going to give him a chance in this match, or is the Rest in Peace just going to be too much? Because all I had when I played this deck was Deathrite Shamans, and I didn't have any Rest in Pieces. And that was still just by far enough.
Well, I think I think it's certainly a step in the right direction. I think that this is something that I thought was going to start coming back to the forefront. That is a Staticaster Nightshade Peddler combo, and I never actually got the chance and the opportunity to play with it, especially because I was under the weather this week. But I thought it was a combo that could really make Junker Animator look kind of foolish, and we saw that game that it does.
Oh yeah.
Now, of course, the removal is certainly going to help, but the thing that I don't like about removal in the Junker Animator deck is that you don't have any way to actually find it and draw it. It's just kind of luck of the draw, for lack of a better term, because your Grizzly Salvagers and your Mulches, they don't help find these cards. And, he only has 2 Abrupt Decays and 2 Slips to bring in. So while they are going to, quote-unquote, help him, one Abrupt Decay is not going to just make the house of cards fall over for Lou Laskin, because he does have Tracker's Instincts in his deck, and he does have 4 pieces of each of the combo in his deck as well. So I think that they will help, but it comes to the effect of he needs to be able to Abrupt Decay, let's say a Staticaster, and then kind of close the game out before Lou finds another Staticaster, something like that.
Or he can just try to go turbo and get that Craterhoof Lawless Troll combo going.
Now, is there any fear here for Lou? Obviously, he's going to board his Rest in Peace because I think he'd be foolish not to. But it kind of making his Tracker Instincts a little bit worse, I guess. Not much worse, but you don't get the back end of those. Is that anything to worry about?
Tracker's Instinct in a deck with at least 24 creatures is Impulse, and it's very good in this deck. I don't mind losing the back end of a Tracker's Instinct just to try to find those combo pieces.
Okay.
Because of how good Staticaster is in this matchup.
As we do see, both players have kept their 7 cards. Joel has started off with a Temple Garden, while Lewis has a tapped Steam Vents. And we do know that Lou has a Farseek in his hand to go along with that Rootbound Crag, so we'll probably see a little bit of acceleration again here from Lou. But he did draw a Nightshade Peddler for the turn as well, so we'll see what route he looks like he's going to take. I
mean, you could end up going down Farseek lane here, but we do have 2 Boros Reckoners to get into play.
Okay.
So it's either we accelerate into a Thundermaw Hellkite, or we just get Reckoners into play. And I think I like the curve of just putting the pressure on the board.
It's pretty hard not to cast Farseek on turn 2 when you have it, but I can also see a reason to go this route is we're going to see an Arbor Elf and just another tap land here, Temple Garden, from Joel. So he's off to a bit of a slower start this game.
Yeah. See, yeah, it should have been Farseek, so then the top card would have not been that Temple Garden, actually been the Staticaster.
Foolish.
Yeah, big oversight by Laskin.
Definitely a rookie mistake overall.
Yes. But send it in, no fear.
And now we're going to see a Boros Reckoner. A card that has, kind of slowed down a little bit since, Pro Tour Montreal, where it was all the rage. There were 3 different Reckoner decks in the top 8, and people have found a way to kind of go about beating this card. And now we have Angel Serenity kind of dominating, and maybe it is Reckoner's time to shine again, as we do see a Rock's Faithbender come into play.
Yeah, so, yeah, Joel definitely took a different approach in this matchup. Instead of going aggressive, he's going to be a little bit more defensive.
Do you think that works out better for him, or should he try
Not
to
at
take
all.
the aggressive line?
No, yeah, he needs to be the aggressor here.
I think the longer the game goes, the worse off it is for him, right?
Yeah.
As we're going to see a Huntmaster of the Fells here for Lou. We're going to see a little tag team here between the Peddler and the Huntmaster. So if it were to flip, a bit of a problem here. But in comes the Reckoner and the Nightshade Peddler.
No good blocks here. Even if he like tries to block the Boros Reckoner, then the Arbor Elf ends up dying. Oh no.
Well, block he shall.
Right.
So you're going to see that, and bye-bye goes your Arbor Elf.
All right, so Joe will gain a life through this, but at the cost of an Arbor Elf.
Yep. And so we'll see that Peddler kind of tink on in and pass the turn back. Now what Lou's basically doing is forcing Joel to have a spell every single turn by pairing up with the Huntmaster of the Fells. When it does flip into Ravager of the Fells, that damage that it will deal will be Death Touch. So Joel will take a draw step here. You see his hand, he does have Lingering Souls in his hand on Burial Rites, Thrag Tusk, and now you're going to see Obsidat, Ghost Council, looking to try to steal a game here, something that we've been seeing it do the past couple of weeks here. A card I think, Brad, this is a card I think it took a little while for it to find its footing in the format, but I think we all knew how powerful it was going in once we saw it.
Just trying to find the home and the strategies you want it against. I do feel, though, that a card like Obsidat is not as close to a Thrag Tusk as a lot of people are playing it. They board it in a lot of matchups or have it for a lot of matchups that I don't actually like it in.
Okay.
Because the format is so powerful. Like, look at the things Lou's doing. Look at the thing Reanimator tends to do with Crater Hoofs and Serenity. Like, when you're casting those cards, it dwarfs an Obsidat.
That's definitely true.
But when you have Restoration Angel in your deck and you're playing against a deck like Esper or Blue-White-Red Control, Obsidat is one of the scariest things you can possibly do against them. And that's where I want that card. Or even like Green-Red Aggro, I like the card. Just stabilize and use that as a reverse Sulfuric Vortex.
Yeah. Just a way to gain some life, close the game out. As we're going to see an attack here from Lou. The Wolf Token, the Huntmaster, and the Boros Reckoner are coming across. You can see Lou's hand. He's got a fistful of lands here.
Yeah, he's been drawing a lot of lands this game.
He also has a Boros Reckoner and a Thunderbolt.
He really wants to flip, but the flip doesn't exactly do what he wants, so...
So you're going to see a Boros Reckoner trigger. You're going to see a lot of different things here happen. After they are going to resolve the damage, we'll have our life totals updated for you guys. And he's just going to pass the turn back. This is going to flip, and he is going to gun down that Rock's Faithbender. So I think he just said, I want that off the table because of the interaction with Obsidat. You'd be getting 4 life instead of 2. Let's move past that point in the game.
Yeah, and that'll dwarf the Thundermaw coming in.
Yep.
So he definitely just wants to get that off the board before he starts playing that. There is the idea, though, to put the Thundermaw into play first, fearing an Umbrella Rites, but I think what Lou wants to do is put enough pressure on the board to where hopefully the Peddler does not become the target for an Angel, and then he can Thundermaw pair kill the Angel.
Gotcha.
So if he puts enough pressure, maybe Joel won't target down that Peddler, which he should in every scenario. Like if he picks 3 of the 4 creatures in play right now, he's going to leave the Wolf in play.
So now we'll see what Joel can come up with here. As we are going to see an Unburial Rites. Unburial Rites is going to target the Faithbender. And the thinking behind that is, Lou went through so much trouble to try to kill it. Might as well bring it back.
Yeah.
It's clear that he thought that was going to be an issue. Now you're going to see Obsidat go away here. But the truth is, I think Lou may have been reeling him in a little bit here. You do see a Stomping Ground as a draw for the turn to go along with another one, a Temple Garden, a Thundermaw Hellkite, and a Boros Reckoner in Lou's hand.
Well, we just have to slam it. I mean, Lou does not have many options. He does have a lot of power on the board, but he's just going to have to play that Thundermaw and just start crashing. I think with Team, the longer this game goes, the worse it gets off for him.
Normally I would think that Lou has inevitability here, but looking at Joel's hand, you see an Angel Serenity. Lou has not assembled a combo yet of Staticaster Peddler. Lou, I think, wants to close the door as fast as he can, as you said.
Oh yeah, and we're in that like that old story of land versus screw, where Lou is getting flooded and Joel is getting stuck, and the player that's getting stuck always comes out of it ahead, especially with the power cards that he already has in his has.
So here comes the team of the Wolf Token, the Ravager of the Fells, the Nightshade Peddler, the Boros Reckoner, and the Thundermaw Hellkite. Of course, the The Peddler is paired up with the Ravager of the Fells there, so if Rock-Face Bender does feel a little frisky jump in front of that Nightshade Peddler, it's going to die.
Yes.
So we'll see who it is going to choose to block here. Brad, if you're Joel, you know your hand. You have a Thragtusk, you have an Angel Serenity. You're not quite there yet. Obsidian going to be coming back soon.
I think
you're blocking.
The life is a little bit too relevant. I think I'm just taking down Boros Reckoner. Like, this is taking the least amount of damage. He gets the 4 life with the Obsidian, but depending on what happens for Joel next turn, I might not be flipping that Obsidian out.
Okay. And so that's what you see. It's going to jump in front of the Boros Reckoner. Obsidian's going to come back. It's going to gain Joel 4 life instead of the 2. And see if Joel's able to find a land here. He finds an Arbor Elf. Now, Thragtusk will gain him 10.
Yeah, he just has to slam that Thragtusk.
And just trying to stabilize here desperately.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see
now
if
he gets to
that's going to
send.
go away or not. It's your choice, Joel. A little surprised. Okay, so he is going to send it.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I can attack with this now.
And he is going to make it go away there. Now that play, you know, sending versus maybe leaving Obsidian back on defense, I think that play is pretty close.
I think since you did play Thragtusk and you gained 10 life, I think I'm fine with getting the aggression on. Joel has to be afraid of some card. I wonder what they're waiting on, but some card like Staticaster to take over this game. But the Nightshade Peddler is stuck on the Huntmaster.
Okay.
Something that you usually only do in Desperation.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's just it. If Lou top decks a Peddler, he doesn't really have anything he can do with it. Oh, I think Lou's arguing because I think Joel might have... My theory is Joel only gained 5, but he's technically had to gain 10.
Yeah, you don't have a choice. You have to gain 10, sure.
And he doesn't want to play the second Reckoner.
Now we see Thundermaw coming across here.
Oh, he missed.
Oh,
he missed
no,
his
Obsidian, you are... This was a big worry for me with Obsidian.
Yeah, how did... Like, so what is the rule when you miss it? Now, I heard that it comes back next turn. I heard that it comes back during your main phase.
That's a good question.
I do not know the actual rule of this.
This is one of the frightening things that I was always scared of when I saw Obsidian get printed of, you know, does this work the way... Does this work the way that I thought it does, which is worst case scenario?
And next phase means, like, if they catch it in combat, that's when it comes back?
I guess it's just Lou. Lou gets to choose if it comes back or not. As you're going to see Boros Reckoner and...
Oh, he drew the Blasphemous Act!
He drew the Blasphemous Act.
26 to the face!
That's a lot of damage.
He's overpaying. He doesn't have to tap that much mana.
But either way, we're going to see Lou Laskin. Obsidian doesn't come back. I think Obsidian knew what was coming and didn't want to feel the wrath.
Yeah, he was a little afraid.
Did not want to feel Blasphemous Act, 13 damage to the face. So Lou Laskin, with Pedal the Metal, as you've called it, and granted it, wins 2-0 over Joel Chappell playing Junk Reanimator. And this is not the last time we're going to see Junk Reanimator over the course of the weekend. I think we're going to see it quite a bit here. But yeah, if you want to be out money, yeah, we'll bet. I don't mind. But we see Lou Laskin does defeat Junk Reanimator with the Pedal the Metal combo. So we're going to cut over to another